on my shoe.
I'm sorry, Common. Why was he not on my list of top 5 rappers?
I love Common.
He just came to my head.
Oh, and see, here's why. Because I mentioned him in another
Common.
video. So we forgot to mention Common. But it's not because we forgot. I swear I mentioned him in another video. Or it's going to be multiple videos. I don't know how this is going to get edited. But
Alexis will figure it out.
I'll figure it out. But the thing is, I know I mentioned him because I brought up the light when I was talking about R&B singers. That's when I said it. And I was like, I will talk about Common later. Yeah. But let me just wrap this up on J. Cole. Bottom line is, I feel like he's a dope lyricist. He's a bomb storyteller. And if you haven't been able to tell by now, if you can tell a good story and if you can make me feel something, I will appreciate you as an artist forever. And I will love you as a musician. And that's just how it is with me when it comes to music, especially hip-hop. Like R&B, you can have a nice voice. You can sing whatever. I don't even care. If you can sing, you are guaranteed to shoe in as a good R&B artist. Like, I don't even know if you write your songs because I don't care. True. That's what it is to me. She's an R&B person, so she's going to go in on her topic. But for me, hip-hop, you have to have talent. You have to have the ability, and you have to be, like, a bomb writer. And you better make me feel something. Because if you don't, I mean, you're not a writer. And to be a hip-hop person or a musician, whatever it is, you need to be able to write. That's the whole thing. That's the true art form. Because if you don't write your music...
How do you feel about Dr. Dre? Because he has a lot of... Are you a Dr. Dre fan?
I appreciate his music, but I wouldn't say
because I was really perplexed. I'll use that word. When I found out that he uses ghostwriters. I'm like, what?
See, that's the thing, though. But see, I was never, like, in love with him. As like, for me, if you're a rapper and I find you ghostwrite...
I don't follow Dr. Dre's music like that. Like, I know his songs. And I respect him as an artist. I, like, put him up there as, like, one of the legendary artists. So to hear that he ghostwrites or people ghostwrite, I
don't even know if I knew that.
I'm like, what? Yeah, girl.
Yeah, but see, that makes me disrespect you because you're not an artist,
right? Because I feel like with rap,
somebody else,
your delivery has to be good, and your beat has to be bomb, but your content, like, that's really what it's mainly about.
And like I said, I care about what your perspective is because for me, any artist, whether it's a singer, somebody who paints, somebody who dances, I want whatever art form it is you're doing. If you're a writer, you write books, you write poems. I need to learn something about you from whatever it is because I feel like art is an extension of who you are as a person and it should give me what your perspective is on whatever the given topic is. And if I don't, like, if you're talking about love, that's cool, but what's your perspective on love? I don't want to just hear some storytell stuff that I can hear from everybody else. I want to know how you feel about it. And that's the kind of stuff I expect to get out of hip-hop when I'm listening to something on a certain topic. Yeah. I'm not saying, like...
Because rap derived from more of a personal story.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
In hip-hop. It's like your struggle, where you came from, everything that's going on in your environment. So for you to take other people's perspective and not...
Yeah, you stealing somebody else.
It's like...
Right. And that can go back to our video we had with Iquel when he talked about inspiration versus imitation for the most part. Because... basically, you just need to be on point if you're going to enter this game as a rapper because I have a perspective on stuff, but I know my delivery probably going to be whack, so I'm not finna go out there and try to be the next female MC. But if you going to be that person and you want to actually, you know, do the art form, you need to do your research and you need to make sure you are dedicated to this and you need to study it and you need to learn what it takes to be a good musician because I don't want to have you out here rapping or singing or whatever it is and you just disrespecting the art form and then you gonna make me upset as a fan and as a listener because people like you are gonna be filling the radio with garbage. And then now Common never gets recognition and he is one of the dopest. I would say he's doper than Jay-Z because I love Common way more than I love Jay-Z. I would say that. I love Common more than I like Jay-Z. I don't know. Common gives me a feeling that Jay-Z does not give me, and he does not get the respect that he deserves.
He doesn't.
Let's just say that.
He's one of those artists that, you know, he came out, he was never selling like millions of records, but, you know, he had a really big presence in the industry, and then as his career has gone on, it's kind of like dived a little bit. But he definitely gets respect. Like I feel like he's like Nas. Like he go on tour
with other artists, but not from the fans. Out. Like if you walk down the street,
he still has that core fan base though.
But yeah, it's not as. I mean, but I feel like okay,
it's not as mainstream.
You guys know how earlier
she
asked me like about. Well, I don't know. She asked me. We talked about Jay-Z or whatever. No, she just asked me. I know the example. She just asked me about Dr. Dre. How do I feel about Dr. Dre? I said I appreciate him as an artist, but he's not my favorite. If you were to ask one of these little kids out here today, be like, so how do you feel about Common? They'd probably say he was whack. They probably would
They
not
probably
even know who he
his
was.
music.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like the least you can do for Common is say, I appreciate him as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
You should appreciate him if you're not a fan. Like, he's on a fan of somebody who deserves recognition. Like, I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame or anything for being an artist, but he needs to make it. Because the stuff he did for music and, like, just the songs that he's put out.
Yo, like Water for Chocolate. Bomb
album. Slept on album. And it's just kind of like, stuff like that is just... It's just really sad to me.
He's always
when people
been a
like
struggling
Common,
artist, though. Like, he's never
made it.
Enter the industry like a Drake or like a Lil Wayne and like blow up. Like, he's always just had that steady flow his whole career.
And it's sad. It's kind of like, who's to blame for those type of situations? I mean, is it us, the fans? Is it his management? Is it his record label?
But then it just goes back to what is he measuring as success? Because maybe it's not a failure for him. Like, again, he can still go on tour and he can sell out a stadium. Like, I feel like he could go on a tour with Nas, or no, he could go on a tour by himself. And a lot of people
could go on a tour and sell out a stadium if he was in select markets. He could. I don't think he could sell out no stadium in Jacksonville, Florida, to be honest. I don't think people in Jacksonville really want to listen to Common like that. Houston, Texas, do you think he could sell out a stadium?
I think I know a lot of my friends from Houston that love him.
But do you, like, collectively? Collectively, do you think he could sell out a stadium in Houston, Texas? Probably not, to be honest. And I mean, if he up north, I feel like yes, because I feel like I don't want to talk about people down south, but when it comes to that kind of hip hop music, people up here respect that music more than people down south do.
Or maybe that's the misconception.
Do you think it's a misconception?
That people down south, that we're just ignorant and we just like
I wouldn't say that. I'm from down south and I love Common. But does my average fellow man from Jacksonville, my Duval County folk, do you guys?
Because you got a lot of like young kids our age who are, even guys that are trying to be rappers, that may not say that Common is their favorite rapper, but they know of his music, and I feel like they probably respect him. So yeah, I would think that he'd be able to sell out stadiums down south. Here's the thing, they're trying to be rappers. Well, either way, I just feel like not even the people in trying to get into the industry, because coming in, I feel like obviously you got to pay respect where respect is due. But as you fans of hip hop music, are you guys, would somebody ask you if you like Common, would you say you respect him as an artist or you appreciate his artistry? I don't know the answer to that. And I really feel like the answer would be no. Like, I don't feel like a lot of people care about Common to the level that they should. And it's sad. He's a great artist.
He's great. But this is what I want to say about Common.
And I can't say he's ever sold out. Like, I don't remember an album or a single where
a lot of people say he sold out on Electric Circus.
I like that.
I don't feel like he did. I thought it was nice.
I thought it was.
I feel like people.
Eccentric. It kind of reminded me of Universal Mind Control. Like, both of them were really eccentric and a little far left, but I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, he said a few things that are things you wouldn't expect Common to say, but it's his perspective. People have varying points, various personalities. One day I may be feeling a little ratchet, and I love ratchet music. I mean, let me shout out Kurt Cobain, because that's who I've been listening to like daily lately, drinking my cup. And I used to love Soulja Boy at some points. Like, some of his stuff used to get me real hype. Lil Boosie.
I mean, everybody got that little
exactly.
ratchet
So I'm saying I have a dual personality. I love ratchet music some days, and then some days I want to be enlightened. And I want to listen to Kendrick Lamar. And I want to listen to J. Cole talk about abortion and all those other deep topics. But I mean, there's two sides of me.
It has to get boring for an artist, though, to just be like, all I'm going to talk about is love, or all I'm going to talk about is the struggle. Like, I would think for me, if I were a rapper, I wouldn't want to just talk about that all the time either.
And I want to talk about bottle popping.
Because these people party too. Like, they're people.
But don't let all of your music sway that direction. You need to have some type of...
just sprinkles.
Yeah,
sprinkles in there.
Like, No Hands. Wale did a little sprinkle. And we were like, okay, I want to do it with no hands too. You know what I mean?
What do you want to do with no hands?
Right. But I also wanted to hear him talk about some ambition.
Right.
Right. So that's that.